Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Wednesday, October 12th, and we got a potentially pretty stormy day with some gusty winds and some thunderstorms that could bring some locally heavy rainfall to at least some areas. So our headlines for the day, we'll start off with maybe a little bit of sun, but we'll have some increasing clouds with showers and thunderstorms that will move in by this afternoon or early this evening, and they'll continue through the night. And then I think we'll clear up and become very windy and chilly tomorrow with highs only in the 50s. And looks like for Friday morning, looks like some pretty widespread frost could be expected across the area as temperatures drop in the low to mid 30s across many areas. And areas west of, or rather east of 131 and around the Mount Pleasant, Clare, Harrison area, you could drop temperatures down below freezing for several hours. So I do expect that there'll be a frost warning and maybe a freeze watch for the northern sections of the lower peninsula here as we get into tonight. And again, we got a pretty active weather pattern with warm conditions for later this weekend into next week as we continue to run about 10 to 15 degrees above normal. If we look at the normals for the day, our normal high is 62, the normal low is 40. And if we look at the conditions around the area yesterday, you can see temperatures mainly in the upper 60s to low 70s, with the warm spot being at Middleton at 73, with Brown City, the cool spot, getting down to 44 degrees. And we'll see temperatures quite a bit cooler than that tomorrow, Friday morning rather. If we look at the conditions around the area this morning, you can see temperatures mainly in the low 50s across much of the area. A couple of our colder spots down into the upper 40s. A little bit surprising that Jasper's down to 47, but certainly we're about 8 to 10 degrees above normal this morning. Normal lows are down around 39 to 41 degrees. If we look at the radar across the area, you see an area of scattered showers and thunderstorms, and this front will be coming through today. We're going to get a pretty good increase of moisture, and I expect we're going to have a lot of pooling along that front, and that front's pretty well defined on our low-level wind map, and we'll show you that here. If we look at the low-level wind field right now, you can clearly see where the cold front is, and again, as that slowly moves towards the state today, we'll pick up that Gulf moisture. And again, we expect some widespread rain. I think most areas will see a good quarter to a third of an inch, and some localized areas could see well over an inch in some of the stronger thunderstorms. And again, some of these could be marginally severe, especially across southwest lower Michigan. If we look at the satellite view, you can see on satellite that front steadily heading this way, moisture coming up from the south. And again, we'll see those thunderstorms develop here later today. And if we look at the national weather map this morning, again, you can see where we pointed out with the low-level wind field where that cold front was, with one low to the north, another one to the south, and again, moisture streaming up north ahead of that front. If we look at the forecast map by tomorrow, that cold front will sweep well east of the area, and we're going to be in some pretty chilly air as high pressure system over Minnesota will bring that counterclockwise or clockwise winds right out of the north, out of central Canada, and some very chilly air with some of the snow cover they've got up there. We expect a coldest morning so far this fall to be on Friday morning, again with many temperatures well down into the 30s, and some of those locally cold areas maybe even into the upper 20s. And you can see by Thursday night, that high moves right over the state, and that gives us calm winds, good radiational cooling, and again, looks like a pretty frosty Friday morning coming up. If we look at the severe storm prediction centers, you can see a marginal risk from southwest lower Michigan all the way down to northwest Arkansas. And again, not a real high risk, but for this time of year to have strong thunderstorms, it's not rare. It certainly is a little bit unusual, but again, we do expect the potential for some pretty good thunderstorms later on today. As far as precipitation, you can see much of the area around a half an inch or so, 3/10 to maybe 6 or 7/10. And again, localized heavier thunderstorms could drop over an inch of rain. And over the next 7 days, you can see much of the lower peninsula, in fact, all the lower peninsula and the UP, looks like we'll see well over an inch, with the western ends of the UP possibly seeing around 2 inches or greater. So a fairly wet pattern over the next 7 days, but it will be warm, other than Thursday and Friday, when highs will be in the 50s on Thursday, around 60 on Friday, but then we'll warm up quite a bit over the weekend. So while we got chances of rain pretty much every day, it's not going to be raining all the time during the weekend into next week, but it certainly will be on the warm side. If we look at the extended outlook, you can see much of the nation above normal on temperatures, and as far as precipitation, again from the Gulf to the Great Lakes back to the Pacific, like a broken record, we're going to see a little bit wetter than normal conditions. So looks like we're going to be flopping back and forth between corn and soybeans and edible beans depending on the weather here over the next couple of weeks. Anyways, thanks for stopping by and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.